Hi, Paul Sakis, Good News Planet, and actually Good News Health and Wellness and Holistic. So we're talking to Jim Morelli. Hello, Jim. How are you?
Great, Paul. How about you?
Hi, good. I love talking to Jim because actually he's going to help us learn more about living a healthier lifestyle and living longer, actually, because you really have a lot of information always. So it's springtime, and we want to get back into taking good care of ourselves. So what are some good things we can do, Jim?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, with coming of spring, we kind of can look back at all those resolutions we made in January and we're unable to follow up on, which happens every year because we run into winter. And so you want to exercise more, but guess what? There's ice on the sidewalk. You want to eat better, eat leaner foods, but really what you crave are those heavy, home-cooked, comfort foods during the winter time. But in spring, it's all different. The weather lightens up, the food lightens up, and we have a great opportunity here to recapture what we wanted to do early in the year. And I think we should start with exercise. And, how do we get an exercise program established when we haven't been exercising? It is difficult, but here's how you can do it in a simple couple of steps. Set aside a time every day that is the same time every day that's convenient for you to exercise. Set as your goal something modest, 20, 30 minutes of walking. Look, that's aerobic exercise. That's great exercise. Then as we move through the month of April and the weather gets better, increase the amount of time you're exercising, and then in May, June, add something else. Add weight training, for example, or swimming. Because, one of the biggest problems with exercise programs is people get bored. And when they get bored, then they don't want to do it. But I can pretty much guarantee you after about 6 weeks, you will want to exercise, and you will look forward to it. And those days that you can't exercise for whatever reason, well, you will not be a very happy camper on those days.
Even consider, I once interviewed Jack LaLanne. He said, find a personal trainer or find somebody to do it with, right, Jim? Doesn't that help?
Yes, it often can help. There are some of us who prefer to exercise in solitude because we take that as a time to be by ourselves and to think and process things. But then there are many people for whom having a companion or two is a great idea. I work out at a YMCA, and every morning there's a group of women. I would say they're probably 70s, 80s. And they are walking every morning, and for the length of time they're walking the track, I know they're going about 2 miles, which is really fantastic. And they use that time to socialize, and that's a very important aspect of going to the gym. And as for a personal trainer, a lot of people can't afford a personal trainer, so seek advice at the gym that's free if you can't, because usually there's somebody there who can help you. And by the way, when you start to exercise, don't rush into it too fast. The last thing you want to do is get injured, because then that's going to really set you back. However, common muscle aches and pains, it happens. That's just the problem with getting back into exercise. Make sure you're well hydrated. Try to stretch before and after. That will help to prevent those aches and pains. If you have to use something, you want to go with a topical pain reliever. And I would really recommend the brand that more pharmacists and doctors do recommend, and that, of course, is Bengay. And right now, through the end of April, Bengay is actually offering a great rewards program. They've got a slew of health and wellness benefits. You can even get an appointment with a personal trainer through this program, which is called Bengay Rewards, and you can find it at bengayrewards.com.
Wow, that's major.
Yeah, it's a huge benefit. It's great.
bengayrewards.com. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's a great, as you say, topical. How does that work? Because you are actually a registered pharmacist as well as so many other things. So how does a topical, when you apply it to your skin, how does it get eventually into wherever it's needed?
Well, depending on what active ingredient you've got in the topical, sometimes they're absorbed through the skin and then they get into the rest of the body. And there are many prescription medications that actually do work that way. For example, testosterone gels, which are sometimes used in men who are deficient in testosterone. They're applied on the skin, they get absorbed into the body. In the case of something like a Bengay, it contains menthol. And what that is a counter-irritant. So what happens is you put it on your skin, and what you feel from the menthol, the sensation you feel from that, sort of takes your mind off of the minor ache and pain that you're experiencing. I don't know a better way to explain it, but that's basically how this particular one does work.
Can that be used also, just I'm wondering, unfortunately, for arthritis and things like that? Can that help that too, would you say?
It can help with the minor pain of arthritis. It definitely can. But one thing you want to make sure with arthritis is to be careful if you've got something like rheumatoid arthritis, which is a much bigger disorder than common osteoarthritis. I mean, you know, I have common osteoarthritis. Most people do who've exercised during their lives. And that's the wear and tear kind of arthritis. And with something like that, yes, this would work to some extent. But rheumatoid, that's a whole other animal.
How about food? What kinds of good foods should somebody consider?
Well, again, great time of year to adjust your diet because we've got lots of fresh food coming on the market that, you know, it actually tastes good. I mean, there's plenty of produce in the winter, but some of it doesn't taste so hot. So now in the spring, we've got fresh asparagus coming within weeks. We have got cherries coming in May. We've also got citrus fruit coming down from Florida. So we've got opportunities here to eat well and to eat food that actually tastes good. I want to talk a little bit about snacking because, you know, some people think snacking is a bad idea, but it really is not a bad idea. And in fact, if you choose smart snacks, you're really going to help yourself probably to lose weight because you won't eat as much at dinner time. So what is a smart snack? Well, I would say it's anything that contains some protein because protein sticks with you, like peanut butter, a handful of nuts, or Greek yogurt. And we actually have a brand new Greek yogurt here. This is called ehrmann-usa. It's got an interesting container shaped like a heart because it is heart healthy, and it is a fat-free Greek yogurt. It's smooth, it's creamy. I had some this morning. I had never had it before. It's absolutely fantastic. But the key thing is it's got these 3 compartments, and what it allows you to do is mix in things into the yogurt. And it's got flavors like raspberry with dark and white chocolate. There's a mango pineapple that has almonds and coconuts that you can mix in as well. And they sound like a real indulgence, but the truth is that they're 140 to 200 calories. They're packed with protein. They're fat-free. I mean, it's a great option to have on hand, and especially for those people who maybe have not liked Greek yogurt in the past because it's too tart or too tangy or too whatever. Kids, I'm telling you, love this stuff. This is a really great thing to have on hand as a snack.
And you can eat that, you know, at any time. Wouldn't you agree? I mean,
yeah.
That's yogurt has really become so popular. It seems because it tastes good, and what you're saying here, and chocolate is a real win, isn't that, Jim?
Yeah, chocolate is almost always a win, and yeah, I mean, yogurt is so convenient. That's the thing, and it's so versatile. I mean, you can have it for breakfast with some fruit in it. You know, for lunch, a lot of people eat yogurt. Snacks, it's great. So it's hard to go wrong with yogurt, and with the Greek yogurt. Again, the best thing about it is the protein content is higher, so you stay more satisfied because really the bigger part of our equation as far as good health is food. You know, we've got to cut down on the amount of food we're eating. We've got to make better choices. Exercise is very important, but food is the bigger part of the equation.
How about eating late? I mean, it seems like, and I've been doing this as opposed to, gorging myself before I go to sleep, which that's a bad idea, isn't it?
Yeah, for many reasons that is a bad idea. And I tell you what, I just saw something the other day, very interesting, that talked about how the incidence in this country of gastroesophageal reflux, that is severe heartburn, is way up in this country, despite the fact that we have medications to treat it. The reason why is because we're doing all the wrong things. We're eating late at night, we're eating fried foods, we're eating chocolate, perhaps alcohol, and these things are contributing to this problem of having reflux of acid. And so really that is not a good idea to eat just before bed, especially a heavy, heavy meal.
And they're also really sort of down on acid in general, right, in the body. Maybe that's causing some of these arthritic situations, bones and so on, to have your body too acidic. That's not a good thing, is it either?
Well, there is this school of thought that if you have an acidic environment, inflammation is worse. And in fact, in our house, my wife went on this cleanse. It's a nutritional cleanse, and the whole idea of it was to bring down the acidic foods so that there would be less pain in the joints. She was having some shoulder pain and was kind of desperate to find a way to relieve it. She went on this cleanse, and, from my view, it took away all the foods that were fun, but in the end, it did work for her. It definitely worked, and she feels much, much better. So there's something to it. As far as that acid from the stomach goes, the biggest concern there is we're talking about cancer of the esophagus, the incidence of which is going up. So that's why we want to be careful that we don't have this severe heartburn, and we either get it treated or we do something to adjust our eating habits so that we can suppress it.
Fantastic. Okay, Jim, is there a website for that ehrmann-usa yogurt?
There is indeed, and it's spelled ehrmann-usa.com.
All right, fantastic. Jim, last question. What's good news for you?
Oh, my goodness. What is the good news? Tomorrow is spring. That is the good news. I'm thrilled to have it finally here.
Yeah. We got more light in the day, and that's good news, too. All right, Jim, thanks so much. Always a pleasure, and you always have very wise things to share, and I appreciate that, and so does our audience. Thank you very much, Jim. Take care.
Thank you, Paul. Take care.